Imagine a fitness device trusted by world champions, but it doesn't even have a screen. No steps, no flashy display, just data so powerful that LeBron James and Cristiano Ronaldo use it to push their limits every single day. This is the story of Whoop, the screenless band that fundamentally changed how elite athletes train forever. It's a story about one person's struggle, a radical design decision, and the cost of breaking trust with your most loyal user. The panic. During a squash match at Harvard, Will Ahmed felt something shift inside his body. His chest tightened. His heart raced out of control. It was a panic-like episode that doctors couldn't explain. It made no sense. He wasn't lazy. He wasn't overtraining himself recklessly. He was missing the one thing every athlete forgets: recovery. Will was captain of the squash team, pushing harder than almost anyone around him. Yet his athletic results kept slipping. That moment on the court showed him something fundamental was missing in how the entire sports world approached training. You could keep the exact same intensity and schedules, but feel completely different each day. Coaches everywhere tracked effort obsessively. Nobody, and he means nobody, tracked recovery. The system was broken. The data. Will decided to go deep. He spent weeks in Harvard's medical libraries reading over 500 scientific papers on human physiology and athletic performance. What he discovered was absolutely crystal clear from the research. Real athletic performance is driven by heart rate variability, sleep stages, and respiratory rate, signals that literally every other device on the market was completely ignoring. He was worn down personally, losing his competitive edge day after day. The data showed his body needed multiple days to recover after heavy training loads, but his training plans just kept pushing daily strain after strain. Athletes everywhere were being told to work harder while nobody measured the actual physiological cost. In that moment, reading through decades of research, he realized something profound. Effort means nothing without understanding recovery. That insight changed everything. Will made that gap his complete obsession. After graduation, he turned down lucrative finance offers and decided to build something completely different.
But when it comes to health monitoring, we're the best game in town. That really came from an insane level of focus in the beginning on what we were trying to solve. One of the reasons Whoop
a tool that measured what actually mattered for athletic performance. During his senior year, working on what felt like his fourth or fifth business iteration, he met an MIT professor named Howard Anderson. Howard listened to his pitch and then stopped him mid-sentence. He asked one question that changed Will's entire trajectory. Is this a paper, or are you actually starting a company? That simple question forced Will to commit. He teamed up with classmates John Capito and Aurelian Nicole. With support from Harvard Innovation Labs, they started building the foundation for what would become Whoop. One single mission guided them: give every athlete the physiological insights that Will desperately needed when he was struggling. Not meaningless step counts or arbitrary scores. Real visibility into strain and recovery so athletes could perform at their absolute best. The breakthrough. While every other wearable company chased bright screens and constant notifications, Whoop dared to be radically different. No display at all. In 2015, that design choice looked like a fundamental flaw. Everyone thought they'd made a massive mistake. Over time, it became their greatest superpower. The sensors inside collect data continuously at incredibly high sampling rates, 50 to 100 megabytes per user per day. That absolutely massive amount of data lets Whoop capture incredibly specific metrics like heart rate variability during slow-wave sleep, feeding the daily recovery score that members rely on completely. They validated their sleep tracking against polysomnography, the gold standard in sleep measurement, adding credibility that most fitness wearables don't even come close to having. This philosophical design changed everything about how people use the device. Instead of constantly reacting to notifications and alerts, members just check the app once in the morning. One single number guides your entire training approach. Green means push hard. Yellow means keep it moderate. Red means rest. The routine completely removes guesswork and turns complex physiological data into one crystal-clear decision. The strap is intentionally small and incredibly light, designed specifically for continuous wear, including during sleep. In situations where wrist wear isn't allowed, like certain combat sports, athletes can place sensors in compatible clothing. The device stays completely out of the way while the app delivers clear, actionable guidance every single day. By choosing subtraction over addition, by removing features instead of constantly adding more, Whoop avoided becoming just another smartwatch. That missing screen wasn't a weakness or limitation, it was their greatest differentiator. But to make that approach stick with a mainstream audience, they needed one more absolutely critical element: genuine trust. The crisis. The real stress test came in 2015 when Whoop launched at $500 with no screen at all. The leadership team bet that this premium price would position it exclusively for elite performers who genuinely cared about deep physiological data, not flashy wrist features. The bet was completely wrong, and it almost sank the entire company. Fitbit was dominating the mass market with devices under $200. Apple was pushing aggressively into the high end with the Apple Watch, loaded with apps and notifications. Next to those market giants, Whoop's expensive screenless strap confused almost everyone who saw it. Even serious athletes were hesitating. Coaches didn't want to outfit entire teams at $500 per person. Strong recovery metrics and continuous biomarker data couldn't overcome the psychological price barrier. Sales tanked significantly. Investors grew increasingly restless. The company was genuinely running out of cash. But in that chaos and desperation came a genuine revelation. The band wasn't actually the product. The data was. By 2017, Whoop completely pivoted their entire business model. Members would pay about $30 monthly for unlimited access to analytics and personalized coaching. The strap became simply the data collector. The actual product was the insights and recommendations that improved daily performance. The results came remarkably fast after the pivot. By 2024, Whoop had reached 1.2 million paying subscribers, generating nearly $400 million in annual recurring revenue. Retention stayed incredibly high, well above the industry average for fitness wearables. Many members stayed genuinely engaged long after hardware interest typically fades away. The subscription model worked brilliantly because recurring revenue became predictable and reliable. Software updates pushed new features to everyone simultaneously, instead of waiting for new devices. The longer members stayed, the more accurate their personal baselines became, increasing value for both users and the company's algorithms alike. The rise. And suddenly, that screenless band, once widely mocked as pointless, was on the wrists of world champions. When LeBron James wore it during NBA games on national television, it sent an incredibly powerful signal to millions watching. When Michael Phelps used it for Olympic training preparation, the visibility mattered tremendously. The skeptics, silent; the believers, growing fast. These endorsements and placements were completely deliberate and strategic. The plan was to let elite athletic results speak louder than any advertising budget ever could. Cristiano Ronaldo went even further. He invested in the company and became a genuine public advocate, sharing his personal metrics on social media with hundreds of millions of followers. When world champions and Olympic legends relied on Whoop, influence spread everywhere rapidly. Amateur athletes, strength coaches, and serious fitness enthusiasts saw the focus on recovery and strain data, which was completely revolutionary compared to the step counts everyone else obsessed over. Whoop shifted from being a novelty gadget to becoming recognized as a serious, legitimate training tool. Strategic partnerships added even more credibility. After winning among hundreds of applicants, Whoop secured exclusive rights to NFL player health data through the NFL Player Association. Subsequent deals with Major League Baseball, the PGA Tour, and CrossFit embedded the device across every major professional sport. The betrayal. Then came the real test, not from competitors, but from the people Whoop had sworn to protect, their most loyal users. A proposed class action lawsuit claimed Whoop shared user activity data with third-party tracking companies without proper informed consent, potentially violating major privacy laws. The claim hit directly at the core promise: member health data stays completely private. Whoop's official policy stated access was limited to authorized staff, yet the lawsuit showed how intimate sleep logs and workout data could flow into outside systems without members realizing. Members wore this strap nearly 23 hours daily. The disturbing idea that their most intimate physiological information traveled further than expected created genuine serious concern. Then came the upgrade controversy, not because of the hardware itself, but because of broken promises and deleted evidence. Whoop had built its entire brand identity on member first. Now existing members were suddenly told they had to pay $49 to $79 or extend subscriptions by 12 months just to get the new device. This directly clashed with earlier marketing messages that explicitly promised free upgrades to active members. Website pages vanished, blog posts disappeared. When longtime loyal users shared screenshots of saved materials proving what Whoop had promised, the backlash was instant and intense. The issue wasn't about hardware costs, it was about broken trust and changing rules mid-game. The recovery. Whoop conceded within just weeks under community pressure. Existing 4.0 users would receive 5.0 at absolutely no extra cost if they kept memberships active. The move calmed immediate outrage, but perception damage lingered significantly. Inside the company, serious internal changes followed immediately. Whoop began redesigning hardware for much longer life and modular upgrades to reduce refresh pressure. The company committed to clear, explicit upgrade terms going forward, completely avoiding any implied promises. The goal was rebuilding confidence while facing real realities of hardware, plus subscription economies. Whoop took visible steps to restore member trust. Zero retention, zero training policy with all AI partners ensuring user data wouldn't train language models. They reworked data pipelines completely to minimize external sharing. These changes delayed planned features and required massive engineering effort internally, but protecting member credibility was absolutely worth the cost. Whoop started with one simple mission: to understand recovery. A decade later, it learned that lesson again, not just for athletes, but for the company itself. Sometimes to stay strong, you have to recover. That screenless band taught the world something profound. Sometimes the most powerful innovation isn't adding endless features, it's having the courage to remove what doesn't matter and obsessing completely over what does. That's why a device with no screen became one of the most trusted tools in professional sports. And that's a story absolutely worth watching.